occupy. We come to death, Satan's key.
Hello and welcome to the Kingdom Advancers Show. I am Akita Taylor and I am super excited about this platform that God has given us, the Kingdom Advancers Show. He has dedicated it to shine some light on some people that He has chosen to make an impact in the earth. So I want to encourage you on today, if you are a Kingdom Advancer, I want you to stay motivated. I want you to stay encouraged, and I want you to continue on the path that God has you on, because He needs you in this earth. He needs His people to make a difference and to show the world that He is King of Kings and He is Lord of Lords. As I was seeking God about what to bring His people on today, He gave me 3 words, and those words were faith, tenacity, and perseverance. And you're going to have all 3 of those if you are truly a Kingdom Advancer. You're going to need faith, you're going to need tenacity, and you're going to need a strong perseverance. You cannot get weak, you cannot get weary in this journey, because every day is not going to be easy, but you have to know that at the end of it, it's going to be worth it. So I want to start with faith. And we know what faith is. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. But also faith is confidence in a particular thing or person. And we have to realize on this journey, we got to have strong faith in the kingdom. We have to have strong faith in Jesus Christ and know that He has called us, that He sought us out of the earth. And He said, you know what? I really need my people to show the world that I am God, that I am the only one and true and living God. And so we're going to have to stand on our faith in this hour. To be a Kingdom Advancer, God is going to cause us to go to some places that we've never been before. He's going to call us to do some things that maybe we never thought that we could do. He's going to call us to go to some places that maybe we thought that we could never go, or that we weren't even qualified to be in a particular place. But that's where your faith is going to have to kick in. Our faith is there to bring about hope that what God is saying, that He's able to perform it. And guess what? Our faith is not limited to our abilities, our education, our experiences, what we think that we can handle, or what we think that we can have. All it takes, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, that's what the word says. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, that's all it takes to move some mountains out of your life. So I'm telling you, I'm encouraging you on today, don't ever lose your faith. If you ever lose your faith, you're going to lose your hope. You're going to feel like that you can't make it. You're going to feel like that God didn't choose me. You're going to feel like there's no way that I can make this thing happen. But guess what? You can't make it happen by yourself. But you're not alone. Remember, you're a Kingdom Advancer. So you have to let your faith always kick in when you feel like you're getting a little weak. When you feel like, okay, I can't make it. When you feel like, okay, this thing is getting a little bit too tough, it's time for your faith to kick in and go into some overdrive. And that's when you need to get into your word. That's when you need to study. That's when you need to get on your face. Begin to pray. Begin to seek God and say, okay, God, I'm feeling a little faint-hearted. I'm feeling a little weary. Things are not working out the way that I thought that it would work out. This is not what you said. That's when you got that faith has got to kick in. Remember, faith is the substance of things hoped for, and it's the evidence of things not seen. So sometimes on this journey, this faith journey that we have to go through some tests and some trials and some tribulations, because a lot of times, and all of these tests are not from the enemy. Some of these tests are from God. And we have to realize that too. If what we're going through, if it was coming caused from the enemy, or if it was from God. Sometimes God will bring about a test to see, okay, I want to know, do you really love me the way that you say that you do? Do you only love me in the good times? Do you only love me when everything is going your way? Do you only love me when you're feeling like you're on top of the world? That's going to be a test from God. Remember, Job was tested. The devil went to God and said, you know what? The only reason why Job loved you so much is because you've given him so much. He's wealthy. You have this hedge of protection around him. If you take all of that away, I'm going to show you just how much Job loved you. And God said, you know what? I have confidence in Job. I have trust in God. Go ahead and do it. Do whatever you want to do. But one thing that you can't do is you can't take his life. So you have to remember, the enemy has to go to God before he can do anything to you. God has to grant permission for the enemy to even bring situations and circumstances in your life. So know this, anything that comes your way, God has the confidence in you. He has the faith in you that you can pass that test. He knows what he's placed on the inside of you. And you have to know what God has placed on the inside of you. And trust that and believe that everything that he's placed on the inside of you, it is enough. I come to let you know, Kingdom Advancer, you are enough. What God has told you to do, what God has commanded you to do in this hour, you do have what it takes. You are enough. All you have to do is just kick in, pull out that thing that God has placed on the inside of you and begin to work it. See, our problem is we know a lot of times the gifts and the talents that God has given us, but we will let our fears, those things, our inadequacies that we feel like we have, we'll feel like, okay, that maybe I don't have what it takes, or I'm really not qualified for this. You have to know God, he knows who he's called. He knows who he has chosen. And he's given you the tools to complete the very task that he's placed in your hands. So don't ever doubt that God has made a mistake. When he gives you a vision, when it seems too big, that's God. We don't serve a little God. We serve a big God. So what he wants to bless his children with big things. He has big ideas. He has big visions. So he's going to give you a big idea. So when you get that big idea and you say, God, are you really calling me to do this? Yes, he is. Can I really make this happen? Yes, you can. I need you to put your faith into overdrive and know that thing that God has started in you, he's able to perfect it. He's able to bring it all the way to the end, and you will see your promise. You will see what God has told you to do, that it is possible, because in God, all things are possible. So let's never lose our faith. Don't ever lose your faith. If you feel like your faith is getting a little low, you know what? That's when you go to God and say, you know what, God, I need a little more faith in this area. I know what you said, I believe you, but there's just a little bit of doubt right here. There's a little bit of fears right here. And remember also, God has not given us the spirit of fear, but he's given us power, love, and a sound mind. So if fear ever comes up in your life, know that fear did not come from God. Fear came from the devil. You don't have to receive anything that the devil brings your way, because he's not your God. He's not your Lord. He's there to try to get you off your path. He's there to try to get you off course. Why? Because he sees the greatness on the inside of you, but he don't want you to see it, and he don't want you to know it. Know that our God, he has his amazing grace right before you. And that grace is there to keep you. That grace is there to guide you. That grace is there to stretch you. You know what grace is? Grace is the ability to do what you ordinarily could not do. Lean on God's grace. He has new mercies every morning, and he also has grace that he has bestowed upon your life. I want you to take a listen to this song. It's called Amazing Grace. It's off of my Give It Up album. And listen to the words of this song and let God amazing grace speak to your life on today. Remember that you are Kingdom Advancers. Enjoy this song, and we'll be right back.
It was amazing. my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed, and it was amazing grace. Oh yes, it was. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace that taught me how to live. Taught me how to live. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace that taught me how to forgive. That taught me how to forgive. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace that taught me how to love. That taught me how to love. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace that fell on me. That fell on me from above. It was amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace. It was amazing grace. It was amazing grace. So amazing, so amazing. It was amazing grace. So amazing, so amazing. It was amazing grace. Saved my soul, made me whole. It was amazing grace. No greater love. It was amazing grace. So amazing.
I hope you enjoyed Amazing Grace, and we're going to continue where we left off. We left off talking about faith and not giving up on the things that God has said. The second word that he gave me was tenacity. And tenacity means a strong grip on something. It means you're not letting that go. You are determined what God has said. In this hour, we have to have tenacity mixed with our faith. Because what the tenacity is going to do, is going to cause something to rise up on the inside of us when we want to give up, when we want to walk away. That tenacity is going to say, we're going to see this thing to the end. We're going to see what God has said manifest in our lives. So don't lose your tenacity in this hour. Don't lose your hope. Remember, the enemy wants you to walk away from your destiny. He wants you to walk away from your future. He wants you to walk away from everything that God has predestined for your life. You have to know God, he knew you before you were even born. When you were in your mother's womb, he already had plans for your life. Isn't that amazing, God? He already knew before you came in this earth exactly what he wanted you to do. He knew who you wanted to be, who he wanted you to be with. He knew all of that. He knew everything about you. He knew who your family would be. He knew where you would work. He knew what city you would live in, because that's the kind of God that we serve. He knows everything. So we have to know that there's no situation or circumstance that's going to catch God off guard. Now, it may catch us off guard. We may not see everything coming, or we may not be prepared for things for life. Sometimes we're just not prepared for some things that happens in life, and we have to know that that's life. But the God that we serve, there's nothing that can sneak up on him. So we have to trust and know that he has our best interests always at heart, and that he would never leave us or never forsake us. So remember, keep that tenacity mixed with your faith. The third point that I wanted to bring home today was perseverance. Perseverance. You have to be persistent and have perseverance in the vision that God's gave you for your life. sometimes we think about the vision that God's given us and we take it so lightly, or we feel like it's not important. We have to realize that there's a purpose and there's a plan that God has for your life, and we have to be persistent to see this thing come to pass. Because guess what? If you don't make it come to pass, nobody else will. There's no one else's responsibility to make your dreams come true. There's no one else's responsibility for the word that God has given you in your life to make it happen. You have to make it happen. Why? Because He's equipped you with the tools to make that thing happen. So you got to be persistent. And guess what? There's going to be some no's. There's going to be some not yets. There's going to be some not this time. There's going to be, oh, you're not qualified, or you're not good enough. Is that going to cause you to back up off of what God said? Is that going to cause you to doubt what God has said, what God has spoken? Do you not think that God didn't know that someone was going to give you a no? Remember, we talked about earlier that there's some test that God allows us to go through just to see if we really trust Him, if we really believe Him. There's been some times in my life when I know that God has spoken a specific thing and it did not turn out the way I thought that it would happen, but I knew God said it. And sometimes you have to know and trust, okay, it didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, but I still know this is what God said. So maybe it's going to happen another way, but I do know if God said it, it's going to happen. So you got to have perseverance in this hour, and you have to be persistent. There's a story in the Bible about an unjust judge that a widow had to go and see about some injustice that was going on in her life. And for days, he ignored her request. He was not thinking about her. He was not concerned about what was going on in her life, but she was persistent. She came to him every day. She said, I'm going to come before you every day until you give me the justice that I deserve. Now this man, he had no fears. He said he didn't fear God and he did not fear man. But because this woman was so persistent, he said, you know what? I don't fear God. I don't fear this any type of man. But this woman is so persistent that she troubles me that I have to give her what she is requesting. And see, that's what persistence will do. It will cause your circumstances and your situations to have to change. Why? Because you're not giving up. Why? Because you're not walking away. Because you're not going to give up on what God said. It's going to cause your surroundings to change. It's going to cause some things to happen in your life that you did not know was even possible to happen. Why? Because God's looking at your faith. He's looking at your tenacity, and He's looking at your persistence. He knows, you know what? I can trust this woman. I can trust this man with the vision that I've given him or her. I can trust them with this wealth. I can release this money to them now because now I know what they're going to do with it. I know they're going to do the right things with it. You know, a lot of times we wonder why we're in certain situations and certain circumstances, or we pray to God and some things are not answered or some things are not released unto us. We also have to know that God is not going to release some things in our life that we can't handle. There's some things that we're just not ready for. And we have to grow up and we have to get to a place of maturity where God feels, okay, you know what? I've seen them go through this. I've seen them go through this storm, and I've seen how they came out victorious. I've seen how they didn't let this situation or this circumstance take them under. So now I know that they can handle this. I know that they trust me. I know that they know that when the devil comes with his lies, that they don't have to receive it. So now I can release it to them. As a kingdom advancer, there's going to be some things that you're going to go through. There's going to be some situations and some circumstances. But know that God is with you and that God is also challenging your faith Himself. And He has to know that He can trust us with the benefits of the kingdom. You know why? Because the kingdom has everything that you could ever think of. Everything that you could ever need. Everything that you could ever want. It's wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in the kingdom of God. But before He releases everything, He's going to make sure that you can handle it. If you think about someone that's leaving something for their children or their trust funds, a lot of times when there's an inheritance being released, A child, if they're under a certain age, if they're under the age of 18 or sometimes even 21, they can't get their trust fund or they can't get their inheritance. Why? Because they're not able to handle it. They're not in a place mentally where they can handle that type of abundance, that type of money. Sometimes, and we could be at a good old age, we could be in our 30s, we could be in our 40s, we could be in our 50s, and God said, you know what? Not quite yet. I don't think they're ready for this blessing right here, because you know what? I still got some grooming to do with them. I still got some pruning to do. I still got some breaking away, because if this is released right now, they're going to blow it. Or you know what? It's going to go to their head. They're going to forget that it was me that did that thing in their life. See, God, he checks out our character as well. We got to make sure all of that fruit is in check. We got to make sure every area of our life is lined up with the word of God, with the will of God. And once we do that, when we line our life totally up with his will and his purpose for our life, be sold out for God, we're going to see the kingdom benefits. We're going to see God release everything that he's spoken over our life, everything that he's preordained, every prophetic word that's been spoken over your life years ago, and you're wondering, why has this thing not came to pass? Well, has your life lined up with the prophetic word? God is saying, line your life up and watch me work. Watch me move. Watch me release the benefits of the kingdom. Are you ready, kingdom advancer? Are you really ready to take the enemy's head off? Are you really ready to tear Satan's kingdom down and show the world that he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords in your life? Get ready, because God is ready. And once he knows that you're ready, he's going to release the blessings of God upon your life. He's ready to bless you. He's ready to give it to you. He's been waiting on you. It's been there all the time. Get ready, kingdom advancers. I want you to listen to this song here. It's called Walk Into Your Blessings. And this song, it actually talks about, you know what, you may have been in this journey for a while. It also says, you know, there were some situations and circumstances that you may not have understood why you had to go through it. But God is saying, this is your time and this is your season. So get ready to walk into your blessings.
You started out a long time ago. You may not understood the path you had to take. Through all of your trials, you kept the faith. You stood on the word of God. Yes, you kept running the race. And now it's your time to receive all the blessings of the Lord. You stood firm, you stood tall, and for this, here's your reward. It's time for you to walk into your blessing. Walk into your blessing. Walk into your blessing. Oh yeah. Walk into your blessing. This is what you gotta do. Walk into your blessing. He said, lean on to your own understandings, but in all your ways acknowledge him. Sometimes the road got a little rough. You felt like giving up, but you stood on the word of God. Yes, you did. And now it's your time to receive
walk into your blessings. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Kingdom Advancers show. If you have any questions or if you would like to be a guest on our show, contact us at kingdomadvancers19@gmail.com. That's kingdomadvancers19@gmail.com. Until next time, continue to advance the kingdom. God bless you.